what's up everybody? It's David here from Tough Guys TV. On this episode, we're going to be installing some weatherproof stripping around our front door. This is a little bit different than the kind that I've been used to in the past, and actually I've never used the one we're going to be installing before. So we're going to go on this journey together. It's a special thing. And I wanted to mention, since this is the first time I've done it, I'm just going to record it as I go and show you guys what I run into. I think I have an old strip on the bottom of the door now that I need to take off. And the door's a little not straight, so we might have to deal with that too. Anyways, we got social media links below. If you haven't checked us out there, please do. I appreciate your support here on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this video and that you get something out of it. Let's get started. And here is our front door in all its glory. Super old front door. And these are the weather strippings that we got. This first one here is by MD. It's for top sides and it up to a 36-inch door. I've never used this type before that has the piece of aluminum that's kind of built into it with the weather strip, but I'll show you why we chose that one here in a sec. And then down on the bottom of the door, we already have a weather strip on there, but I need to take that one off because it doesn't actually seal in anything, as you can tell. So here's another one from MD. It's an easy install, under door seal. Looks like it goes on pretty easy. Again, this is for up to a 36-inch door. Now this door is not a 36-inch door. I think it's like 33. It's a really weird size for a front door of a house. Most of the time, if you have a newer house, it's gonna have a 36-inch opening. This old house doesn't, so that's what we're gonna be dealing with on this one. I'm gonna start by opening up the door, getting the bottom piece off, and then I'm gonna open up these two packages and just to go through and kind of acquaint myself with what I'm dealing with. And let's take a look here. This is the inside of this existing door frame. It's really bad shape. We've considered just pulling the door out completely and reframing it and redoing it here before we move, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna try to get it sealed in. Now this side here does have some old weather stripping here on this side. You need to pull that out as well. Nothing across the top at all. You can see here on the top of the door, there's nothing as well. And then down here on the bottom of the door, there's that other existing one that really just does not have a good fit or seal. It's just super old. Here's a little bit up close. Got this thing opened up. Here's how this channel looks, the front and the back side. So you've got this piece of weather stripping. It's built into this aluminum strip, pre-drilled, and it did come with this nifty thing to hold all the screws. I was wondering if it was gonna have screws, and actually it does, so that's pretty cool. So the instructions say to shut your door, put this on, and make sure that this part here is compressed against the door, and then you're gonna adhere with these screws right there that are gonna go into those screw holes. So that's an overview of how this is supposed to look with your door closed. Since we're doing this project inside, I've just got this set up here on my dining table. And the type of saw I'm gonna be using is this Lennox hacksaw. And it is for metal or I use it a lot for PVC cutting as well. But it's just a simple fine-tooth blade. That's how we're gonna get through the metal part. And for this part here, they recommend just, cutting it with scissors or with a razor knife. Now for this part, I'm gonna leave a little bit of extra on here so that I may be able to angle cut this to fit it together really well, and you'll see that when we're installing. There's that cut piece of metal. This type of thing does a pretty good job at cutting that. I don't have any scissors on me, but I do have some wire snips because I just keep a bunch of random stuff in my tool pouch here. So I'm gonna be pressing this up against the doorstop with the door shut from the outside. And that's how we're gonna know that it's ready to install. So I'm on top of the doorstop, I'm gonna press it and get a good seal with that. And that's how we know it's ready to go. And then we can start putting the fasteners in the screw holes. And there's how putting one of those screws in. It's seated nice and tight. It looks good. It fits well up against the door. You don't have a lot of looseness in there, and that's what you're looking for as far as a tight fit. The door is open, and I want to show how that piece looks right there. I actually didn't have to remove that inner piece. It's not doing anything anyways. So let's shut the door so you guys can see. So as I start to shut, the door grabs onto that edge. It closes easy, and I have a nice seal all the way down to the bottom. All right, so I've got that first piece done on the outside edge there. So the next two steps, do the top next and then the bottom down this side. And that's what they recommend as far as in the instructions go. So that's what we're gonna do next. I'll have to measure off the top, cut that, install it. Then the same thing with this last side. And then we'll test this door and see how well I'm sealing it shut before we put that bottom piece on. One quick thing I just found here was I gave the weatherproofing part there kind of an angle cut, and that seems to sit better across the top side. So I did this same type of angle cut on both ends, and let me put this in place and then I'll show you guys how it looks once I have it in, and you can see how this made a difference. All right, there's that corner where I kind of angle cut both of those pieces to where they don't overlap each other too far. Now on the other side, I actually cut this side tight and then let that go all the way up. And the door actually fits pretty nice. And you can see screws all the way down. It's kind of hard to show something like this off, but we do have a good seal on the door now around the sides. So my next step is to work on this one here down at the bottom. Here's up close on that old weather stripping that's down at the bottom of the door. So I'm just gonna take these screws out and hopefully it just slides off the bottom of the door. All right, all those screws are out, and I think this is gonna come off pretty easy. Press it down. Yeah, looks like it's gonna come off. There we go, that thing is gross. It's been getting stuff up in it for sure. So that's pretty much how these things work. And you can see the bottom is all worn out. It's not even doing anything. So let's get the new one on there. And here's that new one again, MD. Under door seal, U shape, up to 36 inches. This door is like a 32, easy to install, etc., etc. So what I'm gonna do is just basically lay it out next to this one. I'm gonna cut it to the same size. We're gonna slide it on and get it sized up to work correctly. All right, now this new one is actually a compression fit. So that is even easier if everything goes as planned. They say to put the taller side facing inside, so that's the one that we're looking at here. This would be towards the outside. So I'm basically just gonna try to slide this on the door and see if it works. So it looks like it is gonna work. I wanted to test it before I messed with cutting it in case it didn't work. It looks like it's gonna be okay. All right, we've got this thing cut. Should be pretty good. And we know that it does slide on. So now let's slide it on and make sure the door closes well. The old boot method seemed to work pretty good there. And you can see there, that is a much better seal across the bottom of the door. That little lip actually drags onto the threshold, which is what you want. And it looks really, really good. I'm definitely happy with that. Fits well, nice and tight. Well, that wraps us up for this video. I will put a link down in the description for those weather stripping pieces that I used in this video, so that if you want to buy those exact ones, you can. And overall, I think the install went pretty good. In a newer house, without an old nasty door frame and an old nasty door that's kind of not straight, I think the install would actually be a lot easier and a lot more simple. So if you're in a newer house, that's great. My house is built in 1934. It's been renovated probably 10 times, including the time that we've been doing it for the last 3 years. So anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope this video added some kind of value to what you have going on. And check us out on social media. I really appreciate it when people come over and just give us advice or tell us that our videos were great or tell us that our videos stink so that we can improve and do better. So thanks so much for watching. See you guys in the next project. Thanks.